Well, hello, glorious people of the interwebs, and welcome back to Red Dead Redemption 2. Today, we're trying to solve a mystery. The mystery of the disappearance of the Princess of Luxembourg. And we're going to see if we can actually locate her today. This has been a major mystery in the Red Dead Redemption 2 community, and I think I may know where she is. Now, I hope you guys all enjoy this episode, and if you haven't started this little chain of events, you need to head to the Van Horn trading post, and if you go to the bar that's here, you're going to see a little bit of a poster here. We can inspect this as well. You see here, reward on the 15th anniversary of the disappearance of Princess Isabeau Katharina Zinnmeister, the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg is offering a reward of $100. Now this reward will increase, and this makes a lot of people think that she can actually be found, because it's not just a side piece of the game, it actually interacts with things you do in the game, which is particularly interesting. So the princess disappeared at age 5 during a royal visit to the United States in June of 1884. She has blonde hair and birthmarks on her right and left cheek. If found, please return her to the nearest sheriff's office immediately. Let's go ahead and grab this, and we're going to inspect it. See if there's anything on the back. Now, unfortunately, we can't tell what these birthmarks look like on her cheek from this poster. The print on it just isn't good enough. Now, it doesn't look like there's any secrets on the back, so let's go ahead and put this away. There we go. After you check out that wanted poster, you stand a chance of finding somebody at a camp that will talk about the princess. Now, I found this out a while ago. That was before I decided to... I think this might be the guy.
Hey there, partner.
He's actually being nice.
It's all right. Take what you need.
Oh. Well, ain't that?
Thanks.
Aren't you a scholar and a
Do I know
gentleman?
you, mister? You kind of look familiar.
Don't think so.
I get that sometimes. A feeling about a person or a place. I remember I stopped off in the town of Rhodes for a day or two last winter. Soon as I stepped foot in there, I sensed something. A mood. Sadness. Shame. Hard to say for sure, but you could feel it like a mist in the air.
Oh, yeah?
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I actually do.
And I don't mean the normal kind of sadness in them southern towns. You see the color of my skin? I understand the difference well enough. Something else. I talked to a few folks, and it turns out something real bad did transpire.
Interesting.
That's right. You dig beneath the surface a bit. Seems an innocent got killed, and the whole place has the blood on their hands. Now, I didn't get into no details, and they don't like talking about it, but it's quite a thing. Like when you walk into an empty room and immediately either feel laughter or tears.
Oh, I wonder if it's Gavin.
My mama left me for dead as a child, and I've been on my own ever since. Maybe that gives me a different eye for things. I don't hold any pain. Not no more. But I'm sure she carried that around just like them people of Rhodes carries theirs. Well, can't be jawing all day. Things to do.
Interesting. So, an innocent got killed. Now, that wasn't the conversation I was looking for about the princess. As you can see, if you spend a little bit of time talking to some of these campers, you can actually learn a lot. Now, I'm going to see if I can find... I went back to an earlier save before I found it the first time so that I could re-record it, because I didn't actually the first time.
Yep.
So, let me see if I can find another camp and get the conversation about the princess. So I decided to take a little break from trying to re-find this little NPC that I talked to get a little bit more information about the princess. And I walked into the fence area. I've been talking to literally everybody here. And can you shut up? God, at the fences area, there is a little chest here with the princess's initials on it. There's 2 dolls here and a British symbol on the front of it. Now that is very interesting. And it stands out just drastically from the rest of the stuff. Now there's nothing I can loot in here.
Remember to keep all this to yourself.
Now, let's see. Okay, so that door in the back actually leads into this here anyways. Now, I haven't talked to the fence himself, but I wonder if he's got any other tidbits in here. Maybe there's something that we can loot. Maybe if we pet his dog. Come here, dog.
You okay, boy?
Who's a good dog? Do you know where the princess is?
Hey, boy.
So clearly something has happened. There's multiple things in this game that relate to the princess. We just need to find it. So maybe he's got something that we can buy that none of the other fences have?
Be gentle with that.
So this is the only door that we can't get through right now. Haven't tried to kick it or anything. We can't get in there, and there's an upstairs here as well. Wasn't able to initiate any other conversations with this guy. I don't think we can get like up onto the roof or interesting. Wonder if we can jump up over there. Nope. The fence definitely knows something though. Maybe after I talk to this NPC, maybe it'll unlock something here at the fence. Interesting. So I was going through newspapers.
Why are you staring?
And I
remind you of
found...
somebody?
Oh, shut up, newspaper kid. God, I'm trying to read here. So, let me get a little bit somewhere quieter. I was checking out roads because of that conversation I had with that little stranger there. Trying to see what secrets we could find in roads, whether they pertain to Gavin or the princess. I'm not 100% sure yet, but we will get down to this. Now, this was in the St. Denis Times number 45. If we pull this open, we can zoom in here, and you can see here that it's the 15-year anniversary of suspected kidnapping. In a royal proclamation, the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg has issued a decree offering a reward of $1,000 for information resulting in the whereabouts of Princess Isabeau. Isabeau? I have no idea. The princess disappeared from a remote hunting lodge while on a hunting trip during a private family visit to the United States. She was 5 years old at the time. Some believe she was murdered, some that she was abducted and kidnapped, although no ransom note was ever received. Others posit that she was eaten by wild animals. Interesting. If I flip this, am I going to be able to read this on the back? Let's see here. A source of never-ending trauma and embarrassment to... Oh, there's Gavin, speak of the devil. To the royal family, and especially her brother, who has frequently implored the American people to assist in finding information regarding her whereabouts, and himself denies any wrongdoing in her disappearance. What's the name of the brother? While there have been rewards offered in the past, the most recent offering is the highest ever considered. It follows recent rumors that she had been taken to a small town in the United States. Interesting. This actually reminds me of something to do with the Emerald Ranch. Princess Isabeau, the princess, has a characteristic birthmark on her face and right hand. Anyone who suspects, I think, is that what that says?
Gavin?
Age to visit local law enforcement.
Oh.
Interesting.
Has anyone seen Gavin?
Nobody's seen Gavin. He probably doesn't even exist. Come here. I want to slap you around a little bit. That newspaper was actually pretty interesting. The fact that it states she was taken back to a small town in the United States is pretty interesting. And it reminded me of this woman that I picked up and on the side of the road and had to bring her to the Emerald Ranch. And she discussed that the mayor there or whatever basically had some secrets, and that he'd never let anybody ever see his daughter, and then she's locked away, and that occasionally you can see her peering out of the window at night. So I'm gonna see if we can locate her, but I'm also headed back to Van Horn just to see if anything changes with the wanted poster that's here, and if it... Why is there a dead horse here?
Nice day, I guess.
The hell's going on at Van Horn? Nice day, my ass.
Oh, time for me to go.
But we're still tracking down that one NPC to give us a little bit more information. And that NPC does state that he thinks that she's in Van Horn, which is also a small town. It's derelict, but it is a small town. This is one suspicious dog. He seems to think there's something either above the fence in Van Horn, or he's playing for that window, but he definitely looks...
Hello, boy.
like he's trying to see something above the fence. Now, I've seen him do this a few times. and he'll either bark at it or kind of do that little like begging thing. And he'll also bark at two people when they're here. So I don't know if those two people are maybe tied to it, but this dog definitely thinks there's something more to basically to do with the fence. And it'd be way too much of a coincidence for this to be like this. Having the princess's stuff inside of the fence as well. There is something else going on here. Interesting. So the dog is sniffing over at her stuff. I wonder if he knows anything.
Between you and me, I don't care where it came from, as long as
Come
I
on,
can
pat the
sell it.
doggo. And he looks right at the doll, which is kind of interesting.
Hello, boy.
I think I may have finally found it.
Don't worry. I ain't here to cause you no trouble.
What are you doing here?
Just chilling, man.
Seeing if anyone's around. I ain't here to make trouble.
Well, if you want to rest here a while, that's okay by me.
Oh, I think this is it. Finally. Rest
I'm
by the fire
sorry.
here.
I'm not myself these days. I don't know if you've ever had an obsession in your head. You know, something that takes a hold
This
and
is
won't
it.
let go. When I came to this country over 7 years ago now, I heard about this reward.
Hell of a thing.
Yes. Now I have your attention, see? A princess from Europe was lost here when she was a child 15 years ago. Her body was never discovered. Her country still has hope and is offering a lot of money to anybody who can bring her in. I've been looking for her ever since, on and off.
Carry on.
A man told me to look in the town of Van Horn, so that's where I'm headed now. It's probably nothing again. For a man who lives like me, free and on the move, it's strange. I just can't let it go. But it feels, you know, unfinished. Anyway, I need to take my mind off this.
Interesting. So that's all he has to say about it. And it's interesting that he says that it feels unfinished. And that if you can take that two ways. You could take it in such a way that, you know, his mission to find her feels unfinished. Or maybe perhaps the quest line itself is unfinished. And that's kind of what I'm thinking. Oh, there's a map here. Oh, is there anything on the map? There's a point on the map. I don't know if that means anything. Hold on, I gotta take screenshots of this. So I don't want to grasp at things that may or may not be there. But I've been thinking the princess is not in Van Horn, but actually at Emerald Ranch. And if we look at this map, this little like dab, or because that looks like a like a perfume bottle, and the little squirter thing is literally sitting on the Emerald Ranch. That could, I mean, I could be. That's way too much of a coincidence. A lot of people have been thinking she is the one locked away at Emerald Ranch, and that little squirter happens to be at a camp from somebody who talks about the princess, and the little squirter bottle is on the map at Emerald Ranch. That's a huge coincidence. So I've spent way more time than I care to admit searching around Van Horn, the surrounding areas, the forests, everywhere possible, and I believe I've found every single clue that can be possibly found about the Van Horn princess, and I'm still kind of on the assumption that it might be this person in this window, or it's a DLC. It's either one or the other, or she's just not in the game. Now, I really want to think that this could possibly be a Sadie DLC, because if she does end up being a bounty hunter or something like that later on in the story, then it's completely possible that this could be one of the people she tracks down, maybe even Gavin, but we're going to see what this woman looks like and if there's any signs that this could possibly be the Van Horn princess. So I had actually waited about 5 or 6 nights trying to get her to come out, and decided maybe we'll beat the crap out of her dad, and that'll prompt her to look out the window. So we're going to see if this works. Stupid little woman hiding prick. Oh, that was particularly... Oh, there she is. Okay, let's see if we can look at her with our binoculars. So, a couple issues here. It looks like she's got black hair. and I really don't see anything on her left cheek, but she does rub her left cheek, which is interesting. Maybe that's just more of a strange coincidence than anything. She could be wearing makeup. She could be forced to wear makeup to cover the birthmark. And it's not too crazy to think that a child that was blonde can end up being with dark hair when they're older, because even in my family, most of the kids in my family ended up with blonde hair as children and then really dark hair as adults. And I can't take a photo of her. I really wanted to study this a little bit closer. It is unfortunate we weren't able to take a photo of her, and it's completely possible she could be forced to actually have to wear makeup to cover up the birthmark. And it was really interesting that she rubbed her left cheek. Now, this could all be a coincidence, but we don't really know, and there's no way to get in there to try and save her or anything like that. And the NPC saying that it all felt unfinished kind of really makes me think we have a chance of receiving some form of DLC, and getting a Sadie DLC would be amazing, because in my opinion, she's one of the best characters in the game, and being able to play as her after certain events in the story, as she's a bounty hunter or something like that, would be pretty awesome, and tying up some of these loose ends that we're finding in the game now. Now, it's completely possible that there is some just random thing that we need to do to be able to fully unlock, like the princess and the locked away daughter in Emerald Ranch, but it is pretty interesting that the camp where that person said things are unfinished has a map with something that's marking Emerald Ranch, and we find her and she's rubbing her left cheek. It's completely possible that this could be the princess, and her hair has just changed colors as she's aged. Most of the people in my family are born with blonde hair until they're maybe, like, I don't know, before their teens. They still have blonde hair, and then in their late age, 20s, 30s, end up with dark hair. And with the story of this game, she should be around 20 years old, so it's completely possible her hair could have gotten a little bit darker, or even possibly dyed to hide her identity even more. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I believe I found every clue, but maybe as a community we can figure these secrets out together. But I greatly appreciate your support on the series so far. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm sorry I was not able to actually find her, but in my opinion, this stands a really good chance of being her. We just can't get into the building and figure out exactly who this person is yet, and I'm really hoping we get a DLC to finally figure out what the hell is going on in Emerald Ranch and where the princess has gone.